And hello again, people. Today we are on second job of the day. We're on a Land Rover Discovery TDV6 2007. This is the L319 chassis, as you can see there. And the issue with this one is the left-hand front suspension, air suspension, sags when you park it up. You can get back in the vehicle, turn it on, raise the suspension, and it will go back up. While you drive, there is a suspension warning light on while the vehicle's running. It's already been to another auto electrician who couldn't pinpoint the fault, but apparently tested voltage to the left-hand ride height sensor and said it's incorrect voltage. I asked the customer what voltage he said it was, and he said he didn't tell him. So not sure what that's in reference to, but as another auto electrician hasn't been able to do this, this should test me somewhat, because it's normally garages that can't fix it, but for another auto electrician to not be able to fix it, we shall hopefully not find out that it's going to be an absolute nightmare. But yeah, we'll go through it together. So I've already done a full scan and there are numerous faults in the vehicle. I've tested the battery already and it is fine, so we'll go through the report together. I might have to pause this as I start reading because I'll get lost in the information. So, permanent fault, transmission control module, lost communication with instrument cluster, instrument panel, instrument cluster control module, temporary and historic faults, intermittent faults. Permanent fault is lost communication with the audio unit. Well, that will be because it's got an aftermarket system, so we'll ignore that. Intermittent. Permanent interior lamps 2 circuit, we can ignore that. Permanent lost communication with ride level control module. Okay, interesting. Right front height sensor, ride level control module, right front height sensor, permanent fault. Invalid data from ride level control module. And system pressure in the HVAC, heating, ventilation and air conditioning control module. So it needs a regas, aircon regas. Amazon van just nearly took the door off, but anyway, back to this. Let's have a little look. Yeah, so we're gonna have to look at the wiring diagram to the right front height sensor. We'll have a look at the live data quick in the 1 sec, customers come in. Bear with me one moment. He's asking me if I found anything yet. I've been on the vehicle for about 4 minutes. But yeah, lots of customers do that. As soon as I turn up, within 2 minutes, I say, "Oh, what you found?" It's like, "Well, I'm still plugging in my scanner, mate." Or they'll ask me continuously throughout the job, "You found anything? You found anything? Do you know what's going on then? How are you getting on it?" Just like, listen, as soon as I know, I will tell you. But hey, yeah, anyway, stop moaning. Right, let's have a look at the ride level control module. Live data. Air suspension. Left front corner height. Right front corner height. -55, -55. Right rear corner, left rear corner, -11, -14. Well, that's wrong, because as we can see, oh no, it's correct. Yeah, both front ones are down. He didn't mention that. Both, I'll show you, I'll demonstrate, so I'll show you what I'm looking at. You can literally get like 2 fingers. Whole hand. So yeah, and that's on both sides. Just about 3 fingers. and the whole hand. So that is correct, and there is a little bit of difference between the left and the right. The right was, yeah, I'm not sure if these are correct. It's changing slightly intermittent. Is this a control module issue? Left front sensor supply voltage, 5 volts. Right front height sensor supply voltage, 5 volts, 5 volts, 5 volts, 4.92. Bang on. The ignition switch voltage is 11.95. That's because we've got the ignition on, engine not running. Pressure sensor supply voltage. Valve percentage open. Left front height sensor voltage. Right front height sensor voltage. Right rear. Let me just dig into this to see what I can make of it. Bear with me. So yeah, the sensor voltage is between 0 and 5. It should be 1.5, 1.8, 1.7. On left front, left rear, right rear, but on the right front, 0 volts. So the customer said he had the left one changed and checked, but that hasn't solved the issue. Has he missed the fact that the right one is also faulty here? It wasn't coming up with the right front height sensor fault code, but it's clearly 0 volts. So let's pull up the should we put up the wiring diagrams, or should we just go straight to the sensor? Because we know what it should be. There's going to be 3 wires, I'm assuming. Yeah, let me just see how easy it is to get to the sensor, and I might pull up the wiring diagrams, and then we'll carry on filming. So, got the car jacked up. This is the right hand side ride height level sensor. So, as you can see, 3 wires. Good guess. I'm going to remove this connector, or we're going to remove this connector, and then we'll probe these wires. We may just check the wiring diagram quickly before we do that, just so we know exactly which wires are going where. Right then, we've got the multimeter set up on a good earth. I'm having to talk quietly because the neighbours are looking at me weird. We'll turn the meter on, hopefully you can see the screen. And according to live data, there's 0 volts on this sensor, but there was current going to it, according to the live data. So we'll remove this connector and we'll have a look, see if we see any voltage. Can you see? Is my arm in the way? You can just about see. So we'll go into that pin. Do we see any voltage? 4.9 volts, look. That's good. Give me my probe back. Go into the next one. Doesn't seem to be anything on there. Neither on that one. There's definitely 5 volts there. So that is the red and grey. We've got the blue and grey and the yellow and grey. So there's power here. There's nothing on these two. We'll put up the wiring diagram, see where these two go. There may not be any power on here. We'll have a little look and see how it's meant to be. So we're just in the van having a look for wiring diagrams for this 2007 TDV6, and they start at 2009. All data do not have any info. Even the 2009 ones, they don't have the diagrams for. Not sure if you can see, but they're not dark. They're not bold. These ones are. So they've got 2010 onwards, but not 2009. So I want to assume that the suspension system is the same on the 2010 2.7. So we're going to pretend it's a 2010. Once I've found the diagrams, I will let's just see if they even come up. I'll continue filming. We might get our answer straight away. It might go straight to the diagrams. No, it's got diagrams, right. Let me have a quick look. So I actually got the diagram. Here's the level control module, ride level adjustment control module, and here is the front. Let me just try and get that over. front right hand height sensor, and as we saw, we've got a grey and red, grey and blue, and a grey and yellow. Grey and red is the ground, the grey and yellow is the 5 volts, and the grey and blue is the signal, apparently. But I'm pretty sure we were getting 5 volts on the grey and red one. So I'll go and have another little look and we'll see what we can find. Yeah, it's definitely saying that is it saying it's red? It's not actually giving us a colour. I'm assuming it's grey and red. Yeah, so SRSUSY. Is that red, yellow, U? What's U then? Yeah, a bit tricky. I'll go to the vehicle and just have a quick check. Remember, we're on a 2010, not 2007. So it may well be that this is incorrect. We can't guarantee that these are the right way around. It should be. I mean, they match colour-wise. Yeah, let's have a quick check. We'll check these again with the ignition on and see what we get voltage-wise. Right, so ignition's on. We'll get the meter on and we'll check the grey and red first. 4.9 volts. Grey and yellow, 6.4 millivolts. Grey and blue, 7.1 millivolts. Confusing. We really do need the correct wiring diagrams for this vehicle. I'm going to assume that's correct, but if there's 4.9 volts on the earth, we've definitely got a faulty module. Yeah, and as we have got permanent communication faults with the module as well, haven't we? Tricky one. There's power going to the sensor, but there's no, according to the live data, there's no power at the sensor. The sensor's not live, and all the others are. Right, let me just pause for a second, have a little think. Right then, so I thought I'd have a quick check to see where the ground is, because obviously there's a ground, there's a 5 volt feed, and then there's the signal wire. I think the wiring diagram's wrong for these wires, because we've got 5 volts here on the red and grey, but one of these two should be the earth, and we've got the earth there. So, and then no earth on the other, on the blue and grey, just on the yellow and grey. So on the other diagram we looked at, it said that red and grey was earth. That's not correct. So we can now complete our diagnosis. Right then, so as I was saying before I ran out of memory, the wiring diagram's incorrect, and we have got power and ground here plus the signal wire. So the module is correct as far as I can tell, is working. It's going to be a simple sensor change on this side, which was correct according to the live data as well. So that is the diagnosis. Ride height sensor is faulty. So yeah, we'll leave this one here. I think the owner's competent enough to change these himself. I think he's changed one already, so I don't think he's going to want to pay me to come out and do it. He'll probably change it and then see if that solves any issues. I always prefer doing it myself and clearing faults and stuff, but yeah, it's obviously cost is a big factor. So we'll see what the customer wants to do. If we change it, we will come back out and film it. If we don't change it, the video will end here. So hopefully that's been helpful. This will apply to many Land Rovers and potentially other vehicles as well. So please like and subscribe if it has been helpful. Helps the channel greatly. So yeah, if you could do that, that'd be fantastic. And thanks for watching. See you again soon. A quick addition to the video, as we saw from the live data from the fault codes when we started up, it came back as a faulty left sensor as well. So I was pretty sure this has been changed. Just checked the wiring to this one as well, different color to the diagram again. So that's a confirmation that the wiring diagrams are different. But anyway, this sensor's faulty too, so this sensor's going to need replacing. Also, the auto electrician before me cannot have been very good at all, because he said there's not enough voltage going to this sensor. There's 5 volts going there. I think he was looking for 12, and there's only meant to be 5. So yeah, that's a bit worrying. I'm not sure who he was, but yeah, glad I was managed to resolve this one. I was able to resolve this one, sorry. So we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.